Thank you, Wing Commander Anupma Joshi ji. I have seen her in all the editions of the functions organized by Karambhumi Foundation. Mr. Dhulia, the Secretary of Karambhumi Foundation, my senior advocate, Mr. B.P. Nautiyal, who has judged the debate competition, Professor Dobhal, who has judged the essay competition, Mr. Chandola, all the veteran naval officers, army officers, Mr. Rana, Mr. Barthwal, everybody. It's surprising to note that wherever I go, I am surrounded by the forces. Even the colony where I live is Silver Heights. There is Air Force Naval Housing Board. In my neighborhood is General Rawat, another is General Negi, the third is Admiral Asthana. Captain Dhulia keeps on coming there to meet his friends. Ladies and gentlemen, including the participants who have participated in essay competition, debate competition, journalists, everybody who has organized this program. Thanks to all of you for coming here. First and foremost, I express my gratitude to the Karambhumi Foundation, who have kept me associated with all the three editions till now. The first was in FRI. Wing Commander Anupma Joshi compared the program. The then Chief Justice of India, Y.V. Chandrachud, was the chief guest. Mrs. Sumitra Dhulia, the president of Karambhumi Foundation, was there to chair the event. Then, heartening to note that three disciplines are being organized by Karambhumi Foundation. The first is in the field of journalism, in the name of none other than great patriot, stalwart, Pandit Bhairav Dutt Dhulia. The debate and essay is in the name of Justice Keshav Chand Dhulia. He has been my judge. I was in the judicial service in UP. Then I heard that Justice Keshav Chand Dhulia has become the judge of Allahabad High Court. It was a proud moment for me. Before that, Justice Dhulia was the Chief Standing Counsel. Mr. Nautiyal knows, and those in the legal faculty, law faculty, I mean, I think you are in law now, practicing advocate, know what is the importance of Chief Standing Counsel. Chief Standing Counsel represents the state in all the important cases. And I have been LR also, Law Secretary also. Even the cases, I mean, it will be quite surprise to you that even the cases to the Advocate General are assigned by the Chief Standing Counsel. I mean, as per the legal LR manual, the Advocate General cannot appear on his own. It is the Chief Standing Counsel who assigns the cases. We request the Advocate General, the first law officer of the state, to argue the cases in the court of the Chief Justice or wherever the case is posted. So, I mean, if I don't make a reference of Justice Dhulia on this solemn occasion, I'll be failing my duty. He was born on 13th November 1929 in a small place, Madanpur, in district Pauri Garhwal. When Karambhumi Foundation organized this journalism award in Lansdowne, I went there, saw their parental home, in the vicinity of that parental home, this program was organized. The first journalist award was given to Mr. Rawat, Mr. Jai Singh Rawat. The second to Mr. Anup Shah. Okay. The third is yet to come, I think. And the third is Mr. Ramesh Pahadi, Aniket, yes. So, Justice K.C. Dhulia was born in Pauri Garhwal. Then he studied in his village, primary education. Thereafter, since Pandit Bhairav Dutt Dhulia was a great freedom fighter and he went to jail several times, therefore, it was very difficult for him to get admission in nearby schools. Ultimately, a missionary, Professor Mr. Peter, was considerate to give him admission. But after doing the high school intermediate, he went to for graduation in Allahabad University, post-graduation there, came back to Lansdowne to practice law and help his father in running the affairs of Karambhumi. My association with Karambhumi dates back to 1980s. I was a school-going child in Lucknow. My father was an officer in Ministry of Information. We used to subscribe various newspapers, periodicals. Then suddenly Karambhumi, I was reading, my father told me that this is the Pandit Bhairav Dutt Dhulia is the editor of Karambhumi, and it is published from Lansdowne and Kotdwar. So various newspapers we used to read. You start reading Karambhumi and then you will not stop till you conclude with the last page, till you read the last page. And Professor Pathak, Shekhar Pathak told me once, when I became the judge of Nainital High Court, that Mr. Keshav Chand Dhulia was also an artist. He used to organize cultural programs, Lok Kalakar Manch, with Mohan Upreti and all the stalwarts of good artists of Kumaon. So, but then after his marriage with Mrs. Sumitra Dhulia, Mr. Keshav Dhulia went back to Allahabad to practice law in Allahabad High Court. With great and determination, he practiced law. All the cases were fed to him from the Garhwal and Kumaon region. Ultimately, he became the chief standing counsel, where he argued the cases on behalf of the state with ease. His brilliance was noted by everybody, and then he was elevated to the bench. We are very sorry to note that his judgeship could not continue for long, and he passed away within a year. But leaving behind this generation on whose hands the entire burden of carrying the legacy of Dhulia family is there. Karambhumi Foundation is also one of such a step in such a direction. Mr. Himanshu Dhulia is there, veteran Navy officer. The next is Mr. Sudhanshu Dhulia, who has just demitted the office of the Judge of Supreme Court of India. The third is, everybody knows, especially the participants. What is his name? Mr. Tigmanshu Dhulia. You might not be knowing the name of first two, but then you must be knowing the name of the third one, who is present on all the occasions whenever the Karambhumi Foundation organizes such programs. Starting with Professor Dobal's deliberations, who judged the essay competition. You know, my dear friends, that transparency is the hallmark of democracy and an organized society. Professor Doval, who has judged the essay competition, came before you to say that what were the merits and what were the demerits of the essay competition. Normally, in the judicial system or the court system, a judge will never appear before the litigants to say that, yes, what I have done is correct. I mean, judge writes through his judgments. Thereafter, his appearance is not there. Sometimes he is criticized, but then he cannot speak. He cannot come before the public to say that, yes, his judgment is justified. But then Professor Doval told many things. I have to add one thing, that when I was in Judicial Training Research Institute, long back, Lucknow, one of my directors, Professor Goel, Justice Goel, used to tell that reading makes a man perfect. Reading makes a man perfect, and writing makes him an exact man. And he exhorted the judges to be exact. I mean, you have to be an exact person. Nowadays, what I see is, just pointed out by both of them, and Anupma ji and Dhulia ji, that people don't read the newspapers. And to your surprise, I subscribe 5 newspapers. Scan all of them, 3 English, 2 Hindi, before going to my tribunal and hear the arguments of Mr. Nautiyal and others. Just scan it. What is happening in the international scene, what is happening in the national scene, one must be updated. One must keep himself abreast. And that is why, and that is how you will be able to argue better. The quality of debate, some clippings were sent to me by Mr. Dhulia, the Secretary of Param Bhumi Foundation. I found that the quality of those speeches were heartening. I mean, very good deliberations. But then I have to add one thing. Contents is one thing, and the manner of arguing is another. If somebody has committed some offense, and the evidence is there, the arguments cannot substitute the contents. Arguments cannot substitute the contents. The job of a debater or a lawyer is to keep his best foot forward. What is best in that case? That has to be kept before the judge. But then the contents are there. Suppose the contents are good. The prosecution has been able to, the investigating officer has been able to collect the evidence, then the arguments cannot substitute the contents. I hope Mr. Senior Advocate will agree with me. I mean, contents are there. Otherwise, in every case, Nani Palkiwala and Sorabji and Jethmalani will be requested to conduct the cases, and then each and every case in which they appear, that cases will won. I was reading an autobiography and biography of Nani Palkiwala. He says that I have won only 50% of cases. He might have argued many, but then ultimately he won only 50% of cases. That is not the satisfaction of the lawyer. The satisfaction of the lawyer and the debater is the manner in which he puts forward his line of arguments and is able to defend his case. Mr. Nautiyal has also, again, despite the fact that he was a judge, he has placed the point that strong states make strong nation. Again, a judge has appeared before the participants. At least you should have the satisfaction that, yes, whatever you have done has rightly been judged. The job of a judge is very difficult. I mean, and simple also. He hears the cases, one side, he hears the case of another side. And in the initial years, because I started my judicial career when I was 22 years old. I was selected in judicial service. I left my LLM from the university and just joined the service. During those days, the practice was not compulsory. So, in the initial years, and I'm telling you the participants because of later on after completing your law graduation and completing your degrees, either you will become go to the law courts to argue the cases, you may go to academics, you may go and become a judge, you may appear in the judicial examinations, and the field is yours. Nowadays, there is great demand for legal professionals. I go to UPS, most of them I know. I'm going to Kumaon University in the month of March to deliver the talk. You must know that there is no regular professor or regular lecturer in the Kumaon University. I mean, everybody, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Institute is there, and the law faculty is being run by the guest speakers only. There is no regular lecturer or the professor, because probably that is not recognized. I don't know what has happened there. Pardon?
Still they will become lawyers, sir. Still they will be lawyers.
Lawyers they become because that is accredited by the Bar Council of India and Bar Council of Uttarakhand. Lawyers they become, and they become very good lawyers. There is no dearth of good lawyers in Uttarakhand High Court. Very good lawyers. They argue very well. On the basis of that, the judgments are delivered by the judges of Nainital High Court. Most of the cases go to the Supreme Court. The SLPs are dismissed there. So, the few words about the topic of debate. Strong states make the strong nation. You may debate it either way, but the things have already been settled. Settled by the Constituent Assembly, settled by, on this 26th day of November 1949, we do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. We may continue to debate. Debate is necessary because it is academician's field. The moment we said in Article 1 of the Constitution of India that India, the Bharat, is union of states, the things are settled. Union of India. That is, we are loose federation, quasi-federal structure. We may argue from this side, we may argue from that side, but the things are settled that we are federal in character, quasi-federal, shifted towards unitary mode of constitution. The powers are more with the center, like one of the participants spoke about Article 356 of the Constitution of India, where the machinery of the state fails, and then the center steps into to protect the Constitution. One day, I remember, that was the occasion of Rudraprayag's new court building inauguration. I was the law secretary. Chief Justice Sirik Joseph was there. Then I spoke about, because I was a district judge, law secretary, he was there, Justice Sirik Joseph, to inaugurate the Rudraprayag new court building. To lay the foundation stone of Rudraprayag court building. Then I said that I spoke about the Montesquieu's separation of powers, that the executive has its role to play, legislature had its own role to play, and judiciary. After I spoke, then the Chief Justice was obviously the Chief Justice. He said that, brother, we have one more role to play. Everybody said, lawyers were there. When there is breakdown of constitutional machinery anywhere, then the judiciary will see to it that the center interferes. Likewise, PIL, public interest litigation, when executive fails to do its duty, legislature fails in its duties, then through PIL, the judiciary gives the verdicts. The first verdict in environmental was 1974 by Justice P.N. Bhagwati, that relates to your Mussoorie, to protect the environment. So, Article 141 is there. All laws laid by the Supreme Court are binding on all courts and tribunals throughout the territory of India. But then Article 142, famous Mishra case. He was the chairman of the Bar Council, V.C. Mishra, in Allahabad. Then, madam knows it. Then he indulged in some illegal activities. His membership was cancelled. That was the verdict from the Supreme Court. The matter was referred to the Supreme Court, and his advocacy license was cancelled. That order was passed under Article 142. 3 years after, when V.C. Mishra's term was over, the Supreme Court, on its own motion, through Advocate on Record Bar Association, overturned its orders, overturned its judgment, saying that suspension of an advocate's license is not in the hands of the courts. It can, at the most, done by the Bar Council of India, right? Under the Advocates Act 1961. So, if we start speaking on the parliamentary forms of democracy, presidential form of democracy, I'm reminded of one thing. For forms of government, Alexander Pope was a philosopher. The debate was going on those days whether the presidential form of government will be better or the parliamentary form of government will be better. Then Alexander Pope said, for forms of government, let the fools contest. Whatever is best administered is best. For forms of government, let the fools contest. Whatever is best administered is best. So, whatever was best, that has been adopted by the Constituent Assembly for the Indian federalism. If the states are stronger, then they in turn are bound to make India stronger. Some participants in their debate have spoken about the separatist tendencies. But my dear friends, that was not the handiwork of the states. That was the handiwork of the criminals, secessionists. That is not the handiwork of the states. We have heard about Antyodaya. Ultimately, we are accountable to the people. Everybody is accountable to the people. The preamble of India contains the aims and aspirations of the people of India. We, the people of India. Start with we, the people of India. Whenever I sit in the court also, I say to everybody that everything has to be done for the welfare of the people. Salus populi superina lex. That is the maxim of maximum good of maximum number. Jeremy Bentham, you might have read it. So Salmond says that law is the command of a sovereign. Jeremy Bentham says that there should be maximum good of maximum number. So John Ruskin, in his book Unto This Last, says that the real democracy is when the poorest person in the last line of development becomes, if not rich, then he is satisfied. His social needs are fulfilled. His economic needs are fulfilled. The day the last man in the poverty line is satisfied, then will come real Antyodaya. So, the politicians, the judges, the lawyers, the professors, armed forces, naval forces, they should strive hard to see that there is welfare of the people. Ultimately, we have settled this thing. There is no going back. We have settled it for ourselves that we will be working for the people of India. Nothing, we are not like Bangladesh or Pakistan or some other countries where the rulers or the elected persons are dethroned. Our is very mature democracy, right? So, I will conclude by saying that how many people are there, how many administrators are there, how many rulers are there, how many ministers are there, how many public servants are there who don't sleep for the welfare of the people, who don't sleep that the people have difficulties, people have problems. One should believe in C's work, S-E-I-Z-E, and not C-E-A-S-E, C's work. One should believe in wiping tears in the eyes of the humanity and sufferings, calling on justice. And I will conclude by saying that how many politicians, how many administrators, how many public servants are there who can say that इस सफ़र में रात ऐसी खो गई, सॉरी, इस सफ़र में नींद ऐसी खो गई, इस सफ़र मीन्स जो आपका सफ़र है पूरा, इस सफ़र में नींद ऐसी खो गई, हम न सोए रात थक कर सो गई, इस सफ़र में नींद ऐसी खो गई, हम न सोए रात थक कर सो गई. जय भारत, जय हिंद. I am grateful to Karmabhumi Foundation for giving me this opportunity to speak before this August gathering. Thank you very much.